Getting cleaner, greener. Technology is changing rapidly. The data center we built 7 years ago is out of date, so we have a lot of work to do to bring it up to speed and make it more efficient to run.
Well, I talked to a few vendors and heard about some products that might be helpful.
Well, they're just very much changing. Like networking is all going to be fiber optic someday, and with the new projectors, the projector down there is phenomenal. And just the different technology is changing, and it's very good, heading in the right direction.
Well, today the most important things that I think I've learned was that there's a projector now that has no light bulbs in it, which is very impressive, and at very low cost. As well as Dell now has a new system that can store a lot of more information and it's more efficient.
Actually, quite a bit. There's a lot of vendors here who have given us some very useful information on the VM side, as well as some of the cabling and some of the telecommunication stuff as well.
We've looked at the IP switching today and a lot of the data center renovations. We're looking at possibly upgrading some of our data center, and this place has some of the great utilities that we could be using in the future.
A lot of virtualization going on this year. Big topic.
Everything's going to a virtual world, so get rid of all the old hardware that uses up all the power and go green.
I've learned a lot about security today, trying to incorporate facilities and IT, a lot of new technology that I wasn't aware of.
The big thing that I learned last year was virtualization. I've done a big ESX project, implemented a SAN, learned a lot about fiber optic cabling this year, so I'm going to be changing a lot of the, our data center trunking and things like that, so very exciting stuff.
So far, done a lot of the Web 2.0, a lot of the focus on security, which is obviously critical. We work for a defense contractor, so that's a big part of what we do. Great sessions on security for the applications we use, mobile computing, a bunch of good stuff.
I've been looking at the different networking trends, some of the security audits, things like switching, things like that.
As far as the virtualization, we've just done a lot of that. And then a lot of the fiber channels, dealing with the new cables or whatever. And then we just did I went to one class which was about ITIL, Information Technology Infrastructure Library, which was very interesting.
I've learned on security auditing, social media, and waiting to see the other classes that we have.
The biggest thing I've learned is that virtualization is really something that's picking up in the market, and it's time to just grab it by the horns and just get out there and start using it.
I've been looking more at the unified communications and the wireless. That's what I'm focusing on.
I think the network is changing, obviously, in the area of fiber channel over Ethernet and where we're heading with switching. It's an area that I saw a growth for us and something that we need to address. That was kind of one of the key things. Also interested in some virtualization, obviously the keyword, the buzzword in the industry, and there's a lot to pick up here on that.
Well, I learned about some new Ethernet standards that are coming out soon, and learned about a little bit about cloud computing.
I've done some data center research and some research on networking and headsets and a lot of other good stuff.
I learned that technology is changing and smartphones are going to be a big thing to be concerned about in the near future with our enterprise.
We've started to use virtualization a little bit, and there's quite a bit more we could do with virtualization, so that's always exciting. Security, there's never enough time in the day for security, so that's good to hear about what's going on from the experts who audit companies and that sort of thing. And if nothing else, coming to something like this really gets you to shift gears, in terms of what your priorities are and thinking, and can help with budgeting, can help with planning new initiatives, and tightening security is one of those things that often gets put aside. Disaster recovery or business continuity, and finding out what tools are available, as well as simply just thinking about it for a day, can really go a long way toward doing a better job of it back at the office. So
a lot of smartphones are really up and growing, and it's pretty impressive the amount of technology they hold.